All right, y'all. Looks like we are live. Brian, you hearing me okay? Well, we're gonna try to do this. Yeah, you're coming in. A little bit hit and miss. I can hear you okay right now. Well, y'all, welcome to first ever episode of McConnell's Magic. I'm Hunter McConnell, going to be your host. Brian Van Out is joining me as co-host. Having some internet connection issues, so we're trying to get that squared away and fixed. I'm going to have my comment section up. That way I can see I'll post. And so as you join us, feel free to say hello in your comment section. So, Brian, how's it going over there? How's your connection seeming? Let's give that a try. Try to kind of talk and move around. I don't know if you can hear me very well or not. I'm going to plug in my phone, get it charging. If I can see my USB cable. Brian, can you hear me? You there? Hey, Margaret, welcome. Thanks for joining. We're perfect, thank you. How's it sounding? Hopefully it sounds pretty good. It's a pretty new-ish headset for me. So I know the comments are a little bit delayed. Just as a reminder, those of you that are watching can also be watching this. It should be streaming over on YouTube. I'm going to check that real quick. Yeah, looks like it's live over there on YouTube as well. It's so interesting because it shows me on Restream. It shows 0 views, but that's straight from straight from YouTube. It doesn't show me views on LinkedIn. That's funny. Interesting. So yeah, at McConnell's Magic is my YouTube handle. So if you want to check it out on YouTube, in case maybe LinkedIn gets glitchy or what have you, we're going to try to keep troubleshooting this technology stuff, see what's going on. I'm going to try to message Brian and see if he can pop out, pop again. Yep, such as technical difficulties of life. So it's what happens. It's what happens. We're just going to keep trying. So we are just basically trying to get Brian to join us. See if we can get this worked out or not. Well, I'm not gonna go ahead and get started. So yeah, so what we're gonna be doing today, just to give you a little heads up, just gonna be kind of creating with Canva. And so I had this, I guess, thought process or this idea a while back, and just haven't had time to really get into it. And so today was a pretty good day to kind of do what I wanted to do. I don't know how long this is going to be. I'm hoping maybe about an hour or so. It's about 5:20 my time, so that'll be about 6:20, and that way I can go eat dinner because I'll be starving at 6:30 probably. I like to eat, and I'm usually eating around like 6:10 or 6:15, if not 6 o'clock. So 6:30, I'm like starting to get hangry over here. Hopefully that won't happen today. But what the idea that I had was that I just would kind of just show some my brain, I guess, of how I use Canva to create stuff. Kind of show some introductory things. Hopefully, y'all engage with me and kind of tell me like what y'all use Canva for, whatever levels that you're at. So yeah, feel free to post in the chat. I know it does get a little bit delayed, so just keep posting there. And just let me try to show you this real quick before I jump over. Give me a second. I'm going to. I can. Can I? Can I? Can I? Nope. I'm gonna try to real quickly show you my dogs, but I have like a blurred background, and I don't want to mess with stuff too much. So I'm gonna see. Oh, here we go. No blur. Oh, there's one doggy right there. Got to show the dogs off. There's one. That's Ellie. She's trying to sleep. And then this is the little dog right there I posted about. That's Tanner. He's the one that's kind of not 100%. He's the one that's been having issues lately. So anyways, I'm going to blur that back. So I just want to show kind of some beginning stuff. Yeah. So if you're a beginner, that's great. Kind of was I thought would be beneficial is to kind of talk about LinkedIn specifically, some stuff that you might find beneficial. So whenever a lot of people post on LinkedIn and they post like a Canva, they will use Canva as what's called a carousel. So I know a lot of people use Canva when they're creating carousels. So I can show you some of mine that I used to have and kind of talk about what I have seen or do see on LinkedIn as far as carousels go. So I thought we would start with that, and then I kind of show you how I build something from the ground up. So these are it's canva.com. So you just sign in with whatever you want. I'm signed in with my Google account. So these are all of the creations that I have made in Canva here on the screen. And so some of these are kind of old. Some of these are shared with me. This is, I believe, this one right here is one of the first carousels that I shared with on LinkedIn. And so this was a template, and all I had to do was change the colors of these little icons here. So sometimes when you pull in they're called elements. Sometimes when you pull in an element into your slide deck or infographic or whatever that you're making, sometimes it will be a color and you can't change it. This one I could change. So you can see I've got two colors here. So you got to figure out what's the main color and then what's your background color. So you can see there are some little bitty dots back there on that leaf. And you do also have down here, just real quick, you do have a zoom. So you can really zoom in and see that detail if you want to. But this was a template that was already out there, and I just basically created that and used it. There's Brian. Brian, we're going to try to, if you can hear me, Brian, I'm going to try to throw you up here again so we can test it out. I can hear you right now a little bit. You're going to try to say hello or anything? Those y'all watching, I appreciate your patience. We're just trying to work through some technical difficulties here as we get Brian situated, hopefully. Brian, can you hear me? If you can, go ahead and try talking a little bit. Tell us about your day or something. Brian, can you hear me? Brian, coming in. Houston, we have a problem. All right, I'm going to try to pop that back off. Sorry, it's one of those technical difficulties. Looks like the internet may be not working well for Brian. That's unfortunate. All right, so back to this. So this was a template that I pulled that already existed in Canva. And so I just basically redid the text, made it say what I want to say, and these are all the elements that are already on here. So this is kind of one of my first ones, and this was a post I did about like time management. And so there's something called the quadrants of necessity, where it breaks your to-do list or your things that you have to do into 4 quadrants, right? And so I was trying to kind of show that with there, and I was including pictures that kind of went with each quadrant. So like here's a picture of interruptions, whatever. But once I posted this, I kind of realized that it was a little too busy for something like LinkedIn. This might be a great presentation that I could, show others and talk with others. It's not too bad. It doesn't have, a lot of text on the slide or anything like that. Could even lessen this down quite a bit. Put just real short sentences or just blurbs or something like that on there. Definitely, was a work in progress. So that's kind of one idea there. This was another one I did. This one was, I thought, a little bit better for a carousel on LinkedIn. And so this one's just a little bit more simple, I suppose. And what I do when I make these posts is I try to stick to the same colors. So I have, as of, let's see, January, March, August, September, October, November. Brian, I'm keeping an eye on you, man. I'm trying to multitask here. If you can try talking. I see you messaging me. So this one that I'm showing you here, this gift giving guide, I stick with the same color. So when I go up here to the color palette, right here next to edit image, you'll see this color icon. When you click it, it'll open up all these colors. And you'll notice I have 2 color palettes. So I don't remember honestly how I made these. I think this is a premium feature that you have to have. And I think whenever I think I had a trial whenever I made these, and this was several months ago, but the second color palette down here, that's like my, what some people would call their brand colors, right? So when I'm making carousels for LinkedIn, I try to stick to this color palette right here. So that green, kind of this navy blue, that almost looks like black. It's actually like a really dark navy blue, and this teal in the background there, whatever color you want to call that. So what I kind of learned is when you're making a carousel for LinkedIn purposes, really the less text is better. Brian, if I'm coming in pretty clearly, man, feel free to talk and see if you can see how this is working. Yeah, okay. He said there's something about a yellow triangle with exclamation point in it next to the leave button. Yeah, it may be an internet issue because it looks like it's your network connection. I'm getting like a 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. I see your phone. So yeah, that's just another example of like what I would say as far as the carousel goes. So that's one. This is one that I'm making right now. So I want to show you this one. And anybody else that's here popping in from LinkedIn or YouTube or wherever you're watching from, feel free to drop a little hello in the comments. I'd love to see on here, see some comments, see some love. So yeah, throw a comment my way, and that way I can shout you out. So this is one that I am currently working on. Freeman, if you don't know him, Freeman Bills, he posts about positivity. I'm probably butchering the last name, but he posts about positivity every day. Has like 365 posts. He's posting one day, every one positive something every day for a whole year, and he's almost done. He's on like 308 or 9 or 10 or somewhere in there. But yeah, so what we talked about, me and him, and this kind of all generated from a post that he made, or I think it's actually, I don't know if it was through the comment section of his post or somebody else's, but basically the idea is that whenever we think about, say something about, okay. Sorry, Brian's messaging me. One of your streams is having connection issues. Stand by. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe your internet, Brian. Maybe not. I don't know. Right now it says you're good. Try saying something, Brian.
Hello?
Yeah. I'm hearing you right now.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah, you're coming in pretty good. A little, it's breaking up just a little bit, but your internet connection's showing a strong.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's a lot better. It still freezes up occasionally.
Let me close that out. Might help some. Better?
A little bit. It's a lot better than it was, man. I'm at least seeing you.
It's got to be on their side because I got modems working fine.
And now it's freezing on you again. I don't know. Maybe it might be something with restream. I got no clue what to tell you. You were pretty solid for a little bit there, and now you're starting to cut out again. And it might be me. They're doing some internet construction in my area. They've got a new company coming in and laying down some fibers. My house has already been finished, but they're still in my neighborhood. I'll see you pretty solidly for about a minute maybe, and then you freeze up for a little bit. I can hear you typing. I can hear you talking sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you right now.
First.
And back to a robot. Those of y'all watching, thank you for your patience as we try to work through this. Margaret, hopefully you're still there hanging on. Appreciate it if you are. Thank you. I don't know, man. So this one is kind of the idea here. I guess what I'm trying to get to is what I've learned for LinkedIn purposes when you're posting a carousel is kind of less is more. Somebody that usually has a pretty clean carousel, big wig, Luke Matthews, whenever he was around, he'd post a carousel and it'd be pretty clean. It'd be pretty like white background, black text with like an orange stripe across the top or whatever. So kind of stuff that's pretty simple. And stuff like that is what I'm noticing lately on a lot of other people's that seems to be a little bit more popular, or at least has higher engagement stuff. There are some people's that I've been seeing that where they will have little arrows that just show you like, hey, this is the next slide. Click on it, an arrow pointing to the right. Sometimes they'll have an icon or two on the page, but for most carousels that I'm seeing, they are very simple, like this one that I'm showing you right now. So I don't know. I just had this little idea here of like a positive in the mind there, because you know, positive people usually have a positive mindset. So that's where that came from. And then this is kind of just what I have right now. Like, so the idea of this post is like, hey, one of the misconceptions of positive people is that we don't have bad days. Yeah, I don't know. Margaret, if you're still there, will you just send a comment? Let me know if I'm freezing or if I'm sounding good or whatever. Just so we know. Brian says that it seems to be freezing for him. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna assume Margaret's not there anymore. Y'all give me a second. I'm sorry. This is frustrating. Really, really frustrating. Yeah, I'm gonna. Brian, if you can hear me, man, I'm gonna keep going since this is recorded, and maybe the recording will be better. I don't know. Right now, I can hear you really good. I can see you moving around. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it's restream.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear. I can see you moving, and your voice
Yeah,
is a little robotic.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I don't know what else. I don't know what else. That's weird.
Yeah.
I think Margaret, who was here, I think she had to leave because I don't see anybody posting any comments or anything. Let me send you the straight link from YouTube. Check it out and see if it's doing the same for YouTube or not, if you don't mind. All right, so I'm sorry, y'all. 23 minutes of issues. We've been streaming for 23 minutes and no idea what's going on. Don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's restream. I just don't know. So let's chat overlay do. Oh, I don't like that. So anyways, carousels on LinkedIn. That's what I was talking about. I use Canva when I'm creating carousels on LinkedIn. I've got, just your basic text in here. The challenge is trying not to do too much text like this. I probably need to make this a little bit smaller text size. That way it's, all kind of uniform and maybe fits on the page a little bit better. So that's kind of the thing you got to think about and play about. If people are going to be viewing this on a cell phone, what's going to look the best, what's going to read the best, that kind of stuff. And then you have stuff where you can play with, line spacing, for instance. So I can clip it here. I can do line spacing, which makes the lines bigger, makes them smaller, makes the letters kind of stack on top of each other. I can do letter spacing, which provides less space in between each letter, all that stuff. So that's kind of the things that you got to think about whenever you are, making stuff, if you're making it for LinkedIn purposes. Because here's the thing. Most people, when they get on LinkedIn, they are probably viewing it on a cell phone. So, whenever they're viewing this on a cell phone, what's going to be the best for them? So what I want to do, really, this is what I really wanted to do. Now that we're like 25 minutes into this, what I wanted to do is I wanted to see, yeah, it seems to be no issues on YouTube. So y'all might want to watch this over on YouTube if you are not already. So what I wanted to show you is kind of like, what do I do when I'm starting to create in LinkedIn? So my boss the other day handed me this worksheet, basically, and it's all about the dress code. And so she was like, hey, can you create a little infographic that shows the dress code? So you can see I've kind of already started, but I want to show y'all from the beginning what I would do. So she had mentioned doing it as an infographic. So I went into Canva, I created right here. So there's infographic. If you can't find it there, you can always, click on your arrows here to look at all the things that are recommended for you. Or you can also click on more right there and then kind of click through it. And there's infographic usually in there. And I think that's where I found it the first time. So I'm going to say create blank. And usually the first thing I do after I go into Canva is I search for templates. So I search for the key term dress code. And so whenever I search for dress code, I get all of these options, right? So I'm going to have to go through here and I'm trying to figure out, okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's basically 9 sections of this dress code. So I wanted to look for something that had 9 sections. So for example, this would be a good one. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections, and then I can duplicate this page. So I have a total of 10 sections. This wasn't a good one because I'm going to have to edit all of this money in the background. What does money have to do with dress code? Right? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense. So there was this one. I'm like, okay, that's not bad. A little girly for something that's going to be put out to the school. No offense. Hey, Sam. Hey, if you're here, let me know how well this is sounding. Some people have said it was kind of laggy. We're 27 minutes into this, and we've had so much technical difficulties rolling this out. It seems to be pretty smooth on YouTube. I have no idea if LinkedIn is laggy or glitchy or whatever. So let me know. Throw a comment in there. Let me know how this is sounding. We're just getting started, and it's already been 30 minutes. So. Yay, internets. Anyways, while she's hopefully posting for me. Yeah, this one wasn't just what I was looking for. It's not professional, I guess, is what I'm going for. So kind of just had to go through here and see what all did they have. This one wasn't too bad, but again, it's just not, I don't think it's just not big enough really for me and what my thought process was, because I've got a lot of text on this thing that my boss handed me, and I'm trying to make this a little bit more friendly so it's not text. So I still need some text, but I'm going to need some pictures to go with it, right? Talking about dress code here. So yeah, so I was checking to see who else I had on LinkedIn. I could check and see how this is sounding. Yeah, why I can't post to LinkedIn on here. I've got to post it on actual LinkedIn. How fun! Sam, if you can hear me, let me know if this sounds okay. There we go. All right. So yeah, that one just again wasn't exactly what I was looking for. So eventually I found which one did I use? This one right here. So this has really nothing to do with, all right, thank you. Woo. This had nothing to do with dress code, but it's kind of like this one. I liked it better because there's less things I have to edit. The background is pretty simple. So let me make this a little bit bigger. Let's do 75%. Nope, too big. 50%. There we go. So the background was pretty simple. There's less little icons and stuff for me to edit. So templates are like your BFFs with Canva, okay? They are going to save you so much time. It's going to be fantastic. So that's what I start with when I'm starting with a design, whether it's like today, again, what I'm just going over is this dress code policy for students for next year, and trying to make it simpler and also more user-friendly for all of our families, because we have a lot of families that speak very little English. Some of them speak Spanish, but we also have a lot of a pretty decent Asian population they come over speaking something else like Mandarin or whatever. And so anytime that you can have pictures to kind of reiterate your point, it's going to be a lot better for you, especially when you're reaching a larger audience. So my first, I guess, suggestion or hint or whatever when you're working on LinkedIn is to be careful where you're clicking on. So you notice as I move the mouse, you kind of see some things highlighting, hopefully, these little purple backgrounds. And so that's going to kind of help you know like where you're going, what you're doing. So right here it says future forms. I'm going to do JMS. That's the school that I work at. And I'm going to put dress code, right? Got to give it a title. So, and then it's just basically simply formatting. So you can make the text boxes bigger. You can make them smaller. You can make them wider. And then when you see this plus icon with your mouse, that's like your click and drag. So I'm actually going to move this up a little bit. And you'll notice I have these little kind of purple lines dotting the screen. And that can kind of help me center my text. So it's kind of right in the middle of my infographic, right? So yeah. Then here's something I'm going to show y'all. So I've got this background box. And notice when I'm moving the background box, the future simple, this text right here is not moving with it. That's because they're two separate things, right? And so you can't move one without moving the other or whatever. So what you can do is you can select one option. So I have this text box selected. Now I'm going to select the little rectangle shape back here, and I'm holding down Shift on my keyboard. So I'm going to do Shift, click. And so I have two things clicked. And now I have an option up here in my little bar to group them. And the reason I do that is because now when I move that box, the text is going to move with it. So I'm going to move it up just a little bit, and then I'm going to double click where my text is to go ahead and edit it. So my first section of the dress code is shirts, blouses, and polo dresses. Again, format the text however you need to. However, when you group stuff, you lose some of your formatting. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to ungroup it, and I'm going to just click my text. So you see these little white circles or these little white bars. Whenever I group things together, sometimes you lose some of that. So you just have to play around with it. Honestly, like it's pretty forgiving, I should say, so that if you make a mistake, you have this nice undo button up here. So if I want to undo that or redo that, you can do that. Yeah, that's a lot of doing stuff. Redo, undo, you can do that. So I'm going to group them back. This is, oh, thanks. Hey, Brooke. Woo. Thanks for popping in. So yeah, so I'm going to have this one thing. I'm going to maybe, get it exactly how I want it to come first. I'm going to position it perfectly. I already actually made a post, or I made a comment today about how I need to stop. I think Sam, was it on your post name to stop being a perfectionist, right? Yeah, sometimes it gets the better of me. So I'm going to group those two things. Now, I do have to say this is for work. So it does have to be kind of a little bit good, maybe not perfect, but it has to be good enough because it's a professional thing that's going to go out to everybody, right? Yeah, so thank you. Sorry, I'm checking my LinkedIn messages on my phone because sometimes it's doing weird stuff. Yeah. So I'm going to move this up. And here's what I know, y'all. Again, I'm going off a huge, I don't know if y'all can see that really good or not, but like it's a ton of text for each of these sections. So I'm trying to simplify this, but I'm trying to add pictures as I go. So I'm just taking y'all through kind of what I do when I'm working with Canva. Again, I use Canva a lot for my presentations too. I'll kind of show you one of those later. Hey, look, there's a little wizard. That's cool. All right, sorry, squirrel. I'm gonna get rid of that. Yeah, I get distracted sometimes. I know my good enough is better than most. I know, but it's not good enough. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So the first thing that this bullet point here says, collar, polo, or Oxford style shirt, short or long sleeve, no sheer material. So instead of saying all of that, I'm going to pop over here into elements, and I'm not going to worry about any of this. I'm going to go straight up here to search, and I'm going to search for collared shirt. and you're going to get some collard greens because of the word colored, probably. Yeah, that's fun. So you might just do shirt and see what happens. So we might have to do, might have to refine the shirt search like a polo. That might be a little bit better. There we go. So I like this blue one here. Oh, so let me pause for a second before I forget about this, right? Squirrel. um, let me pause for a second. So you see this little hat icon, the little graduating cap. Hopefully y'all can see that okay. So what that means is that this is probably going to be a premium feature if you just are signing up for Canva. Because I work in education, I get a special educator account. So I get some of the premium features for free because I work in education. Holla, right? So I just want to preface that because if you see something, and I believe it's like a golden crown, like, crown as in the crown that you wear on your head and not crown that you draw with. Yes, it's not Crayola, it's crown, okay? Yeah, so if you see that crown, it's like a little gold crown. That's a premium feature, and you either, one, have to pay for it, or two, it's going to have this like watercolor thing on the back, okay? So it'll say like Canva in the background, and then like, so if you print it, you're going to see that watermarked thing. Like, if you like ever search for a picture and it's a professional done picture and they put all these watermarks on it, so that way it's like taken from this website or whatever. Yeah, they'll do that on you. So watch out for those premium things. But I'm going to use this shirt. So I just simply clicked the shirt and it throws it on here, and it's huge, ginormous. I'm going to resize that and move it where I wanted to move just by simply clicking and dragging, right? Super basic, super easy. So the white circles, that's going to be on your corners to keep the aspect ratio. The white, I don't know, lines, that's going to be like to make it fatter or to make it skinnier. So I'm like cutting off the shirt or making it taller. So yeah, that might not keep what I call the aspect ratio. I need to go undo all that now. Go back to just your regular size. Okay, perfect. Good. All right, good enough. Not perfect, right? Okay, so collared shirt. So now I don't have to have the text that says collared polo, right? They get the idea because there's a picture of it right there. I keep pointing to the screen over here. I point to you. So they can see that. Are you actually? It's over here for you. I'm pointing over here because I split my screen because I have this huge monitor. So yeah, you can see it somewhere over there. The shirt. So you don't need text that says they need to wear a polo. It's there. The other option was an Oxford style shirt, which y'all, I had to Google this. I did not know what an Oxford style shirt was. And I'm curious what happens. I'm going to do Oxford style shirt just to see what happens, to see if they know. Oh, look, they do. This is what an Oxford style shirt is. It's a short sleeve button up shirt, y'all. That's what an Oxford shirt is. I speak English perfectly fine. If I don't know what an Oxford shirt is, people that probably speak English very well, they probably don't know what that is. Like, I'm just being real, right? So I just did like button up shirt. You can even see I searched this recently. So yeah, long sleeve, short sleeve, doesn't matter. So I'm gonna throw a long sleeve one in there. That one's kind of cool looking. I like the color. Size it, move it, make it look pretty. All right. Short or long sleeve. So I'm gonna have to now play with some text. So I've got my shirt. So I'm gonna say short or long sleeve shirts as pictured. Maybe even put that in there. And I need to add no sheer material. So that sheer material is like see-through. I can pretty much guarantee you if I search up sheer material, I'm not gonna have probably a good image of that. So you just have to kind of hope people know what that means, right? But that's basically like, we don't want see-through shirts at school, like kind of common sense. So yeah. All right, so my next thing must be any solid color. So I'm going to throw it in there because it's kind of hard to show that pictorially. Of course, the shirts I picked were solid, and the reason that I picked those is because I already knew this was coming. Shirts must. I don't know why it's changing text on me all of a sudden. There we go. Shirts must be solid color. no, hold on. Shirts must be any. Gotta read, Hunter. Shirts must be any solid color. Boom. All right, next. What else I got? Logo is permissible if it's on the product, and logo must be all right. So I'm not really gonna do anything about logos right now. Oh, where's my little bloop bloop? Hey, Brian, you back? You good? Let's try it, man. I see you. I hear you. Brian, hello. Yeah, this is kind of what we experienced at the beginning of this. So Brian Vanetta is my co-host. I think I'm saying the last name right. Brian, if you can hear us,
Time,
man,
Hunter.
try it.
Show over.
You were frozen, but I'm hearing you. Yay, internets. Brian, if you can hear me, man, I can hear you. Just keep on trying, man. Keep on trying. I'll leave you here on the stream. I can see you moving right now. Yeah. Such is life. So Brian was gonna oh look, here's I forget I can show these things. Hey. Oh look, I could show that one too. All right. Squirrel. So yo, this is my life. No exposed. Okay, so this is a good one. So one of the next bullet points is no exposed midriffs or cleavage. Yeah, fun, especially working at a middle school. How do I do this? Midriff is I think what I tried to search. And sometimes it goes to graphics. Like you have to check your on all. So here's a good one about midriff. So I can throw this in here. Maybe there we go. Size it. We don't want to see no bellies in middle school. And then what I'm going to do is up here, I'm going to just type in no and watch what comes up when I do that. Look at all these little circles. Like this is exactly what I want. So now I can throw this in here, size it just right. And now I've got a image. And oh, don't forget, I can shift, click, and group those two things. So now when I move it, they're one item instead of two items. Yeah. So, yeah, instead of saying no exposed midriffs or cleavage, I got that. Now I don't know. I'm kind of scared to search cleavage to see what pops up. So I might want to add that on here. No exposed cleavage. I'm scared. If I search that, what might show? So yeah, let's keep it safe. I know I cannot post. I need to delete that. That's driving me crazy. Okay, no exposed cleavage. What's our next thing? Undershirts must be any solid color. Thank you. Appreciate it. I know if you gotta go, you gotta go. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so undershirts must be any solid color. So I did search for undershirts. And it's usually like all of these. Okay, so I got some good graphics. I just am afraid if I put that on there, they're gonna think like undershirts are okay to wear. So that's why I chose not to, or I'm choosing not to throw that on there. So yeah, and then I think that's the only thing on here. So my only other text I'm gonna add here is about the logo. Logos are allowed. But must be no larger than $50. Like people know what a size $50 is. Like, I don't know who makes these dress codes. They need to speak to somebody that's not, I don't know, that can make this more friendly. Sorry, I'm having to like lean way down to see this. I feel like I'm an old person. All right, let's move on. So what I'm going to do next. So again, I've got my text box. I've got this. I'm going to shift and click And I can, even without grouping them, I notice, maybe, hopefully you can, there are two, looks like y'all can see that hopefully. They're both selected right now, and so I can actually move both of them. So I'm gonna just get that a little bit closer to my top box. There's still a little bit of space. I'm going to move my background up a little bit higher. Perfect. I know I'm gonna delete this guy, I don't need him. Yeah, this is what Canva is all about right here. Like, you just take the templates that are out there for you, find the one that works for you and what you want, and like make it your own. Like, that's really what it is. And it's okay, because if you like don't like something, I can take this, what I'm doing, I can duplicate that page and I can start over. Like, so I can duplicate this and have as many variations as I want to. So if I go back for just a second, I know I'm kind of going squirrely here. But if I go back, I'm going to share this with y'all. So this started with one banner, and this banner was from a friend. I haven't seen her post in a while. So she made this one for me, and I just threw in the text. And I'm like, okay, let me try, now that I had the size that I wanted, let me try like playing around with it. And so I just duplicated it, and I like removed all the stuff in the background, and then I came up with this one, and then I came up with that one, and then I came up with the one that I actually am using. And I got some feedback from some people. They're like, you don't need your name on there if this is only for LinkedIn, which it was, because they're on your profile. So like, Avi, your name's there when they're clicking on my profile, right? Like, obviously. So that's where I came up with that. Yeah. So anyways, so that's what LinkedIn's all about. You can duplicate something, and then like you can mess with it. You can redo. Like, failure is okay with LinkedIn. It's, excuse me, with Canva. Well, I don't know. It might be okay in LinkedIn too. Yeah, I fail all the time. It's good. It's all good. You learn from mistakes, right? So Canva's just very playful in that way, where you're gonna be okay as far as all that goes. All right. So my next thing on dress code was, I'm actually gonna skip. I'm gonna go to jeans because I want to show y'all something as well. So it's kind of similar to what I just did a second ago. Pants, shorts, and capris. Again, the idea is I'm trying to make this more user-friendly. And one of the things that we have in our dress code is basically that pants, jeans, etc. must be worn at the waistline. What are we trying to say? We're trying to say that they should be sagging, really. I think I tried searching sagging, and I don't know if I came up with anything. Let me go to all. So stuff like this, like, you may have to go to photos to get that, but I'm telling you, like, y'all, if it works, it's gonna be hilarious. And it looks like my internet is not happy with me right now. No, don't do this to me. Oh, okay, that's working. So this was hilarious. I typed in sagging, and it's like sagging arms and stuff. So then I came back here. I'm like, okay, maybe sagging pants. That might be better. And I still, even though I did sagging pants, it still was not good. So I actually am gonna have to leave our internet for this one, and I'm going to do a search for sagging pants so I can get a good picture of what I want. So let's take this guy right here. I'm going to copy, image, and paste. And look, like, I don't have to save the image. I can literally just copy and paste the image from the internet into Canva. Now I'm going to double click the image, and you can like crop it basically real fast. So I don't need the whole image. I just need like really that part right there to show that this dude is sagging. And yeah, it's still a popular thing, y'all. When I was in school, right, sagging was a popular thing. Y'all, they still do it. They still do it. I don't know. I did not really sag. I don't remember sagging. My parents probably would have zip tied my pants or something if I did. And so again, I can go in here to elements. I can search for that no, or if I just go like to my elements homepage, it shows all your recently used things. So I can just click that little circle again, drag it over that, make it a little bigger. I can resize, do whatever. And I'm going to group those things together. So now I've got one thing, okay? One thing. All right, so we're gonna kind of just breeze through the rest of this part. Why did it delete the text? I don't know where my text box is going. I had a text box back there. Where did it go? Where did it go? Don't know. Whatever. I'll copy this. So if that happens, like, I had a little bullet right here, right? I don't know what happened. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this text, copy, paste, move it in here. And now what I can do is just delete all that and type what I need to type. So what am I gonna say? Pleated or flat front, cuffed or hemmed. Logos can't be larger than 2 inches by 2 inches. Yeah, y'all, this is legit. This is dress code. High school, middle school dress code. So yeah. It is what it is. Yes, we have dress code because if we don't tell these kids what to wear, they will come in their pajamas. True story. True story. So again, I would change this. Like, who knows what pleated is? I didn't. I'm just being real with you. I had no idea what pleated meant. I had to Google it. Pleated is like that crease on the front of your pants to like dress pants. They're pleated usually. Flat front, like jeans. Like jeans are usually flat front. Okay. Yeah, I had to look it up. Sorry. So I might have a picture of that. So what I did for this is I did jeans. And so I might show put like a little graphic of jeans in here. Whoops, didn't do it in the right spot. Got to do it in the right spot, right? And then size it how you want to size it. And then move it around. So I got one more trick or hack or whatever. Some McConnell's magic. I wish I had like a magic wand. Whoosh. I need to invest in a magic wand, I guess. So McConnell's magic here. Some little magic sprinkle of dust. If you hold down the control button and then you click on your item and you move it, you can move it however small you want to. Notice the difference. This is with control. I'm going to let go of control, and now this is without control. You see all that crazy background stuff? Sometimes what can be frustrating is when you're moving stuff over, it like snaps into this place. Like, it's hard to tell right here, but it's kind of like snap. You see it kind of like snaps onto those little pink lines when I move it. It's not as a fluid circle as it is there. You see? Not so fluid, or at least it doesn't look like that, and pretty. So all you got to simply do is hold down that control button, and it basically gets rid of that little pink crazy stuff and lets you do kind of like what you need to do. So yeah, love it. All right, let's make that smaller and like boom, go from there. Okay. I'm checking the time. I'm not gonna keep boring you with like this dress code one. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to show y'all just how easy Canva is to start designing and to start making stuff. So let's say like what I talk about often, probably need to more often, is presentations. So they have this presentation button. I can click on presentations, and like 16 by 9 is the default, which is great. It's a perfect one. So you can say create blank, and then you're like, okay, what kind of presentation am I going to give? So let's say I want to do something about growth mindset. I'm going to search growth mindset. I'm going to see what comes up. Here's one. It's 15 slides, and they have growth. It says growth mindset for business leaders, right? So I can click on this, and I can kind of see a little bit better about what it says. I can add it to my slide. I'm like, yeah. So I can sit here, and I can just apply one at a time to see what it looks like. But y'all notice this text, like some of it is actual good, like text, and some of it is like on this one, it's like Latin. And it's just garbly goop, right? Like this one, there you go, garbly goop. So I like to keep these over here on the side, because what you can do is you can go and you can take like this circle with this little light bulb. And then once you have them both selected, you can copy that, and you could create a new just blank slide and paste. And there's like that same logo. So if you're like, oh, I like that little icon, you can copy it from one slide and paste it into another. And then I can go over here and like delete this slide because I don't need it. And there's just a blank slide with that little logo that I like. Or like I like this little handshake and the little triangle behind it. Let's see if we can shift click, copy, go over here and paste, and boom, look. Like, that's awesome, right? And then what I would probably do, instead of holding down shift and then clicking your next item, y'all group it together. Unless you're going to be doing a lot of formatting, I like to group stuff together. Okay. So that's kind of how I use Canva to create stuff. I start with the template. I find the template. I search what I like. If you don't like it, then find something else. Because like this one, if I don't like these colors, that's a lot of editing that I'm having to do, is click in here and change it to my color palette that I like. You know what I mean? So yeah, like maybe I could do something like that. Maybe that'll look a little better. Oh, I like that. But then I'm having to go change this one and this one and this one. Like I'm gonna have to change all of these one at a time. That's gonna take forever. So, if you get to that point, I would be trashing that and I would find something else to save you time. So here's one. I'm like, okay, look. So if I add this isn't bad. That's one little, two little, three little, four little things I can change colors on. That's gonna be a lot faster. And then these little icons, I can even change those colors too if I wanted to. All right. So that's a little bit easier for me. And look at all that nice, pretty background space. And I can even change the background. So if I want to do white instead, or if I want to do this crazy green or whatever. So I can use kind of what I consider to be my brand colors as, something that I basically edit this with. So I'm taking something that already exists. I'm not recreating the wheel, and I'm making it my own. So yeah, that's what I do. I don't know if you're watching right now and you got some questions, throw them in there. I'd love to answer some questions that you have about Canva specifically, anything that you might have. So templates are your friend, y'all. Templates are your friend. Templates and elements, like that's where you live. Something that's really cool, I'm not going to really dive into, is this docs. So this is kind of like Google Docs or a Word document, but they have some magic in there. So here is a document I created in Canva Docs. And so like you can hit this plus sign and you can do headings. You could throw in a pie chart, bar chart. You can embed your design. So there's all these different things in there. So I created this. I shared it with Freeman, who does the positivity post. I was talking to him about him earlier. And there's a presentation I made. So we can sit here and he could be somewhere else and we could like basically collaborate on this together, which is really cool. So that is Canva Docs. They have some kind of cool stuff in there. I believe they have some AI things in there. I just haven't explored this fully, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's supposed to be pretty cool. It's new-ish, so I haven't explored it fully, and I really need to. But yeah, so I asked for some questions. I'm not seeing it right now. I do want to thank y'all for watching this. If you watch it on recording, I do again apologize for the issues that we had at the beginning, trying to work this out so that me and Brian could kind of host this together. I don't know if it was Restream. I don't know if it was LinkedIn. I don't know if it was my internet, his internet. I don't know. I apologize. But I do want to thank you for watching. So I do hope you enjoy the first video of McConnell's Magic. I'm Hunter McConnell. That's some McConnell's Magic for you. Hope you enjoy it and hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And I will see y'all later. Bye, y'all.